Hoopty.
Welcome one, welcome all to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops Crypto and Chill Show with your hosts, Mike, aka Veteran Crypto, and Jeff, aka the Blockchain Report. How's it going, brother?
Going good. Happy Tuesday. Although you almost said crypto and trip. I was like, that'd be kind of hard to go through all this tripping, man.
right. So tonight we're gonna start getting kind of back to our roots and start doing more structured shows and try to focus on the alpha and the news. So for the most part, we're going to be kind of just going through kind of what news we were able to find today, and for some reason, hold on,
Arena isn't
wanting to cooperate. Well, hopefully it starts working. So we're just going to start going through that, and then got a little bit of news. We're working on something with David. We usually do the morning DeFi high. We're thinking about discontinuing that and a couple of our other live shows and consolidating. And me and David from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific, we're actually going to start doing a 2-hour show. Where we're going to focus on crypto news, different topics. David's really good at TA. Start doing some TA, and between me and him, we have a pretty extensive network of people that we're going to start bringing on for interviews and having guests on to talk about different projects and things like that. And then also at the very end, we're still going to do about a 30-minute or so block of each episode, where we're going to do one of the lessons out of DeFi University. So we're just going to kind of streamline a bit. Hey, what up, Nick Dunn? Yeah, we got everybody piling in the chat. We got Crypto Stevo, we got the Hoofty, we got Ellie, we got Nick, we got all kinds of we got all kinds of good peoples in here. I like it.
Yeah.
So we got some good stuff going on. But yeah, why don't you go ahead and introduce the socials, and I'm going to make sure that X is working because I got an error on that.
Yeah. It looks like Arena's back up.
So, I saw that.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you jumping in here on this wonderful Tuesday here at DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, where me and Mike go live for our Crypto and Chill Tuesday and Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. There's also quite a few other shows that, Mike said that, we might be consolidating soon. So stay tuned for that. But as of right now,
me and you will still be doing the Crypto and Chill on Tuesdays and Fridays. But it just, we're the DeFi Masterclass. We're eliminating that. And then again, DeFi High. Once we get the other show going, then we'll eliminate that and just basically merge the Masterclass and the DeFi High into that 2-hour daily show.
And Money Talks on Mondays?
No. So basically what I've talked to Taylor and Texas Jeff about is actually having them on Mondays come on as guests for about 30 minutes. And and basically just kind of help us go over the news, because Taylor is just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to wealth preservation and small business formation, real estate, things like that. And then TradFi Jeff being a licensed financial advisor. I mean, he's been doing it for decades. he has his finger of the pulse of the traditional markets and things like that. And him and David vibe really well together, with a lot of that, because that's where David's roots were at. David started out in TradFi and trading. And then once, kind of crypto and he got into DeFi, then that just kind of where he naturally went.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
What up, Crispy?
Yeah, Crispy. We got a bunch of
Oh,
people, man.
Jay dropped in. Where's Jay at? I don't see Jay.
Jay's
Oh,
up
there he is.
there.
There he is.
So
There's my magic. So, dude, I got to give a shout out to Jay, man. Me and him were like murking people. Fucking yesterday, we just real quick, we went on Arc Raiders and just me and him, and we went into this and freaking we got jumped by a squad, and so we freaking took out two of them, and the third one ran, and then after that, two groups at the same time tried to jump on us. And so freaking, I went down and Jay was able to get me back up. But between me and Jay, we took out like 3 fucking squads, and we just kind of counted our blessings and we got out, with our loot. And then we went and took out a queen matriarch and got a bunch of crazy ass loot off that and got out of there too. We had a great day of gaming yesterday.
Damn. Dude, I've been seeing so many things on Instagram of just funny videos and like stuff on Arc Raiders. It's pretty funny.
Well, it's a lot of fun. We're not the only ones that are calling it the prison pocket. The safe wallet that you're able to put your loot in to get out alive, or to get out even though you die. There's all kinds of videos with people calling it the prison pocket and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
All right, well, sorry. Go ahead and do the socials. It looks like the X is up and going. Everything's checking out. Everything's good.
So stay tuned for all the moving and shaking we got going on here. Shows will be updated as we get that finalized, and but also our Red Pill Thursdays. That's everything but crypto. It's a great time.
We'll definitely keep doing that. That's too much fun.
Yeah, great open discussion and unfiltered. So check those out. Also our brother channels, me at the Blockchain Report, Blockchain Basement, David's DeFi University, and the DeFi University, it is free, and it's a great resource. Like what Mike and David have been doing with the DeFi High in the mornings, just going through all the content and really breaking it down. Each day, just every topic has been really, really great to get into. They've even learned, a lot of new stuff, and David put it together. He's even learned like some stuff he didn't know about before. So it just goes to show you that no matter how long you've been in the space, you still are forever learning. But if you want to get deeper into DeFi strategies and actually get mentorship, David does have a paid course or paid mentorship that's $97 a month, and it's 2 hours a day. And there's over 200 people in the community. So a lot of great alpha and resources that you can gain insight from. And is that sweet? Oh, Jacob Huffman. What's up, Jacob? Mike and Taylor's DeFi Wise newsletter that goes out Monday through Friday. Before the traditional finance markets open, they pick ranges for specific assets and precious metals, get market sentiment and news all to you before, usually if you're on the West Coast, before you even get your eyes open.
Well, I want to give a shout out to our newsletter, because this morning, we those that get it, they can verify this. We called out Jane Street as being, and we'll get into that news here in a minute. But we called out Jane Street being the one that is, potentially going to be investigated, here in the next couple of days. That a lot of the big channels, we're talking about. I watched a couple of the the major channels this morning, and they were trying to guess at who it was going to be. If it was going to be Binance or Coinbase or MEXC, and they were going to the perps dexes and the prediction markets, and trying to figure out who it was going to be. This morning we called it with Jane Street. So anyway.
Oh, damn. Nice. Yeah. So like Mike said, this newsletter's been awesome with the ranges and the news, market sentiment, Monday through Friday, early in the morning, and it's just under $20 a month. So,
it's the
great.
only thing we charge for here, and
Yeah.
we're trying to make a little bit of money so that the channel doesn't cost us cost us money to do it.
Because we love providing you the alpha.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of work to do all these shows, and that's been killing it with all the people.
It's not just the work. It's it's the StreamYard and all the different tools that we use to do the show. I mean, they all cost money. So anyway, enough of that.
Yeah, once you start getting into the content creation, man, it's like, oh shit, this is what it takes. It's not just like, oh yeah, I just do a YouTube video.
Yeah,
man, but you can catch us also on the arena.social. I am here as well. And we're also doing gaming streams on Saturdays. So Saturday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, we'll do gaming streams.
And Saturday Night Fever, Jeff is doing his DJ set.
My DJ stuff. I had to do it on Sunday because Saturday we had that like 4 or 5 hour gaming session.
Yeah, it went kind of long.
And yeah, you can catch Mike at Veteran4Crypto on Twitter, me at the BCR142, and yeah, so a lot of fun stuff. And yeah, well, let's get into it. We got a lot of
alpha tonight. But I do want to address this. I at the very beginning I said I'm not spam fucking YouTube. I was trying to post something and YouTube kept flagging it as spam, and so it wasn't letting it post. So yeah, it's not like some a kinky sex position or anything like that. It's just me getting pissed at YouTube for not letting me post what I want to post. So all right,
you like the spam in the can?
Yes. I think it was Ellie in the chat was saying it some kind of jackhammer, position, but unfortunately, no.
It's like old American Pie. It just
that's right. Right. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom in on this. And so I went and very briefly verified this. I did it this morning, so I definitely trust this. So Jane Street is being sued over alleged crypto insider trading that may have accelerated Luna, the token, or Terraform's collapse. Here's a timeline of what happened. And this is all verified based on court documents. So we're just reporting the news here. All right, the back channel. From 2018 to February of 2022, Jane Street signs a direct trading pact with Terraform Labs. Jane Street deploys Bryce Pratt, a former Terraform intern, to bridge the gap. A private comms channel is established between Pratt and Terraform's core engineers. Non-public data. This is key because that's what makes it insider trading. Non-public data begins flowing to Jane Street under the guise of investment discussions. The strike, May 7, 2022. At 1744, which is 5:44 Eastern Standard Time, Terraform quietly drains 150 million in UST from the Curve 3 pool. Less than 10 minutes later, Jane Street, allegedly tipped off via the back channel, front runs the collapse by pulling 85 million from the same pool, escaping before the peg breaks. So this was the DPEG event. Mm-hmm. The manipulation, May 8th and May 9th. 2022, Do Kwon publicly dismisses the drain as a liquidity move, while the public holds the bag. Pratt messages Kwon to bid on Bitcoin Luna at a discount. Jane Street allegedly leverages intel from jump trading to stay on the profitable side of the DPEG. The Reckoning, 2024 to 2026. Terraform enters bankruptcy. Todd Snyder is appointed to claw back billions. Do Kwon receives a 15-year sentence. The recent filing. Snyder files a redacted complaint in Manhattan federal court against Jane Street's co-founder, Robert Granieri, and employees Bryce Pratt and Michael Huang. seeking damages for alleged insider trading and market rigging. So this just gives the the timeline that we just went over. So I won't go
Oh,
over it
that's
again.
nice.
Um, so yeah, that's that's in a nutshell. That's what went on or what's about to go down when it comes to an investigation into like a major platform and things like that. And of course, I mean, any other shit could happen. There's plenty of other in bear markets. A lot of course, bearish things go down. Last time, we had FTX, we had, a lot of black swans. When a lot of the liquidity dries up, when a lot of the volume dries up, they're not able to, these platforms aren't able to make the fees that they're used to. If they haven't, if they don't have enough reserves, if they've, kind of over leveraged themselves, all of those weaknesses, they come to the surface and, they become real, and they can only play shell games for so long. And in this case, it caught up with them. Same thing with FTX, same thing about Celsius. There's a lot of different things that led to these. They're not all exactly the same, but usually these things happen in a bear market. So, Jeff,
Ooh.
it looks like you're froze up.
No, I mean,
Okay, are you able? Yeah, you're froze up on freaking arena and stuff too. But
I'm frozen.
anyway, we can hear you. But what are your thoughts? What were you able to find?
Well, a lot of the same, the market manipulation and how they kind of pulled the capital out, or they were going to say they were helping out Terra Luna and then secretly acquiring, as many, kind of soaking up all the shit that fell out from the bottom. So it's really, I mean, they've been involved in quite a few things, kind of like Binance. So it's just really telling how these companies, like, you really see their true faces when they get involved in this stuff, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I I want decentralization, self
Well,
custody, all that,
well, this is.
don't.
I'm sorry. Keep going. I was going to
It-
interrupt you. Keep going.
yeah, the whole, self custody and, your keys, your crypto, that's why it's important, because you just don't know. And I know Terra Luna, they had, even though Jane Street had a big part in this, Do Kwon still developed the flaw in the Luna token and the algorithmic stable coin and shit. So there, I don't know. It's kind of, it is shitty, but you're dealt a bad hand. But build better tech, and also know what you're getting into with these projects. If it looks too good to be true, then it is. And
Probably.
yeah.
So let me see real quick. Let's see if I can. I'll mess with it later. I'm wanting to try to make the what we're presenting larger, but all right. So next up, I got the latest. Strategy becomes world's most shorted stock amid a 7 billion in Bitcoin losses. Michael Saylor's master has surged to the number one position globally for short interest. This comes as investigators aggressively bet, or investors, not investigators, sorry, aggressively bet against the company following approximately 7 billion in unrealized losses on its holdings denominated in Bitcoin. Those that don't know, Michael Saylor is aggressive as shit and is constantly coming up with liquidity to DCA into Bitcoin. I mean, he is probably one of the most bullish on Bitcoin that's out there. I mean, they hold a massive amount of Bitcoin. So whenever the Bitcoin takes a dump like it has been, and it's down as hard as it is, there is a point to where he could basically be liquidated. And I wish David was on or somebody like that that could intelligently explain this, because it's beyond me. But somebody that's familiar with investing like he is would be able to, and maybe you can, Jeff. But I know that there is a threshold where if the price of Bitcoin hits a certain point, then they basically become insolvent. It's especially because it's a publicly traded company.
I think he said it would have to go under 8,000.
Oh, is it that low? I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was in the 50s.
I think just recently he said it would have to go under 8,000 or something like that to.
Okay.
Now he could just be saying that, but he has done a lot of buying here recently, so that could be a factor. But yeah, it does seem like he wasn't really buying that low. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he has enough in reserves or he could potentially get enough in reserves to buy down that low if it does drop. But I would say anything outside of a flash crash, like a Binance manipulation wick down to 8K, it would take a while for it to kind of trend down and get to that level.
No, definitely 8,000. I don't see. I see, and I talked to David about this today. The low, and Taylor tends to agree. The lowest that we or they potentially see Bitcoin, because I'm not a TA guy and I don't do prices. Both of them agree the lowest they see Bitcoin going is like 32 to 34. And that's a very extreme case. There's a level around in the 50s that they see, but the lowest that they see and then is in the 30s. But I want to give a shout out to CypherX Research. This guy is a fellow veteran and has a really, really good channel. So you might want to check them out. They've gotten into DeFi pretty heavily. They're very bullish on Canton. Unfortunately, they're very bullish on XRP, but I won't hold that against him. They posted this earlier today. And it says, this week, the tokenized cash and regulated rails stack moved decisively inside the perimeter. BNP Paribas launched tokenized MMF share classes on Ethereum, bringing cash yield instruments into on-chain collateral and transfer workflows. Regional U.S. banks, Huntington National Bank, First Horizon Bank, M&T Bank, KeyBank, Old National Bank partnered with Carry Network to design tokenized deposit rails, bank native, always on money. This is what we've been talking about with DeFi upgrading the traditional finance system to where instead of the banker's hours and manual processes and fees for everything, everything's being upgraded. Everything's being streamlined. The only thing that is holding things up right now is the Clarity Act in the U.S. And the reason is that banks are fighting for their bottom line being their profits. They make a lot of money on fees. Anybody that has a bank account, you have an overdraft fee, you have a transfer fee, you have this fee, that fee, all fees everywhere. It's like taxes. It's like the government and taxes. They're always going to find a way to get their hand in your pocket. So what's being held up right now is they don't want us to be able to earn on our own money. They don't want us to be able to earn yield or interest on stable coins. So that's one of the things that's holding up this bill. So anyway, back to it. So U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, capital treatment qualifying payment stablecoins now 2% haircut eligible for broker dealers. Settlement inventory becomes balance sheet viable. Bridge secured. Conditional approval from the Office of the Comptroller of the currency to organize a national trust bank stablecoin ops inching towards federal banking oversight. World Liberty Financial with Securitize, which is a tokenization organization, and Dar Global announced tokenized resort loan revenue interests in the Maldives. Honorable mentions: Figure launched, which is FGRD, as an SEC registered blockchain. Native stock. Dragonfly closes a $650 million infrastructure focused fund. The pattern is clear. Cash equivalents, deposits, stablecoins, and securities are converging under supervision, not outside it. So, what this is saying is that these regulatory bodies are starting to figure out where they sit when it comes to these new assets. Those that aren't familiar, there was a Judge Torres. Love it or hate it, Ripple was fighting for years for XRP to not to be considered a security. Personally, I see that, and I was an XRP holder at the time. I thought that they were fighting for us. In hindsight, I feel like, my personal opinion, but do your own research. I think you'll find that you agree. I think that they were fighting and spending all that money because if XRP was found to be a security, they would have to pay fines and fees, but then XRP holders would basically own stock in Ripple because a security, those that don't know, a security is a stock. So they would have a legal obligation, to token holders or stockholders to churn a profit, for them to share in the profits of the company, just like stocks. So I personally think that they didn't want it to be a stock because then they couldn't sell XRP or dump XRP like they do to fund operations and to buy all of these different companies that they've been buying because they're trying to become a bank. So that's what I personally think that was all about. But
that makes sense, that because that would take they would take a big hit from that. I mean, if they couldn't sell XRP, if it was in violation, and that would completely just destroy their ability to
sell XRP.
Yeah. To get funding for all that.
And to get in a little more detail, it's only retail sales of XRP aren't a security. So institutions that have XRP, potentially they own a security or a stock, which I think is bullshit. Because that basically means that institutions have a stake in Ripple, but we the peons can't. So
God.
Yeah. Let's see. On-chain finance is no longer adjacent. All right, so that's what all this is based on. So here's a little bit of Canton alpha. Canton's DeFi ecosystem is quietly ramping up by shipping new primitives for regulated markets, configurable privacy. So basically, whoever it is that is using a Canton network can configure the privacy. So it's not either totally private or totally public. They can actually pick and choose what they want to be private or public. So it's configurable. Sounds pretty basic. Compliance-aware flows, an atomic settlement that still stays composable, and DeFi native. So this is the ecosystem that Canton is building. They're building payment rails. So basically what Ripple was trying to do with the XRP ledger, Bitcoin DeFi, integrating bridges and oracles. So things like Chainlink, different bridges for cross-chain interoperability is basically what that boils down to. Neobanks, and Earn and Vault products. So this is what David loves. The neobanks, like EtherFi and like SoFi is considered a neobank. Your ability to be able to earn off of your assets. Vault products, like on Morpho, you have institutional vaults that you can provide liquidity into and earn yield. You can earn 10, 20, sometimes more percent on your liquidity by depositing them into these funds. Basically, they're basically digitized funds, and what the DeFi is calling them is vaults. Private liquidity or dark pools, dexes, and advanced liquidity venues, prediction markets that are privacy focused, stablecoin and synthetic stablecoins. So stablecoins are core to any DeFi. Without stablecoins, DeFi doesn't work. Same thing with, as of right now, smart contracts. Lending and borrowing protocols and yield solutions. So once again, things like Aave, Morpho, things like that. Perp protocols, institutional grade derivatives. These are all traditional finance vehicles, investment vehicles that, and Kenton is trying to be the network that houses all of this and connects all of this, more importantly. So stay tuned for that. You got anything on that, Jeff?
I actually had something that I saw just before we got on that I don't know who this guy is, founder and CIO of Cyber Capital. But he was.
Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, there we go.
So he said, we must reject all centralized blockchains. This includes Ripple, Canton, Stellar, Hedera, and Algorand. So don't be fooled by their lies, as the truth will set us free. So Canton, the validator set is totally permissioned. And that's all he has to say on that. So he's saying we must reject it. And then he goes on for some other, deeper takes on them. But yeah, I didn't know what you thought about that.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I was fucking YouTube keeps on fucking saying everything I say is spam.
I am the creator of this page,
right? I this is freaking ours. Let me fucking post what I want. All right. So I'm sorry, you were saying that he's saying something about Canton and that, like,
yeah, rejecting all centralized blockchains. And Canton, he included in this. Centralization is not the future of finance. Requiring permission from an authority is not decentralized. Canton, he said the validator set is totally permissioned.
He's right. I mean, it is it is centralized, but to an extent. But I know what he's getting at, and this is the dream. Yes, 100%. Having a decentralized financial system where there is no, overlord, government or institution that, dictates what we can and can't do with our money. That's the dream. Absolutely. And I'm all for it. Unfortunately, that's not the reality. And we can reject it as much as we want. It's going to happen. So, can we kick and, can we yell into the wind? Absolutely. Is anybody going to hear us? Have you ever yelled into the wind? Been on a mountaintop with it, being really windy, and you're trying to yell at somebody across the way and they can't hear you because of the wind? That's pretty much what you're going to end up doing. You're going to end up kicking and screaming and yelling. Banks and institutions and governments don't care what you have to say, and they're going to just drive forward. So the best that we can do is position ourselves to profit until such a time that we see an opportunity, to where either we can all come together and buck the system, replace the B with an F, and and try to take the power back, because I mean that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Is yes, this is a huge opportunity, and this technology, but we have to find a way to force those in power to give up power. And it's going to be a hard fight because they're not going to do it quietly. And, as long as they have, politicians in their pocket, they're going to have things their way. So either we need to elect better people, pay attention and elect better people, or demand that certain laws be passed that don't allow these institutions and banks to have the voice that they do, through lobbyists and through special interests, and allowing them to basically bribe. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They're in legal ways, but roundabout ways, they are bribing politicians. Politicians during election time pander to us. You see it all the time. The worst offenders is the Democrats. I'm not being partisan, but if you watched, I believe it was the 2020. Anyway, it was the election where Tulsi Gabbard. There was like 13 different people. Hillary Clinton. Like there was like 13 different Democrats on stage trying to get the nomination for the party. And Tulsi Gabbard was the only one up there talking about ending war and, actually presidential things. Everyone else was arguing about what they were going to give away. And it was just out and out pandering to get votes. Some of them were going to give reparations. Other ones were going to give, forgive student loans. It just, there was no end to what they were going to give away. And it's not theirs to give away. It's the taxpayers. The money that they're giving away is taxpayers. But anyway, I don't want to go down the political thing. That's on Thursdays. So my point is, until we can root out, the weed of these institutions and banks, a decentralized financial system is a pipe dream. I mean, it exists and we can use it, but 95% or more of people don't even know it exists, let alone how to use it. I mean, go walk down the street and ask somebody, what Bitcoin is, or what the current price of Bitcoin is. Watch one of those videos where somebody walks up and they're like, "Hey, I'll give you this $100 bill, or I'll give you one Bitcoin. Which do you want?" And the majority of people will take $100 because they don't understand that Bitcoin is, infinitely, more valuable. One Bitcoin is. So
or concert tickets, like, what are we doing, man? It's crazy.
We gotta be realistic. We aren't there yet. 10, 20, 30 years from now, when some of these younger people are adults and they've grown up with this technology, we might get there, but we're just not there yet. And we have to realize that. There needs to be adoption. Once we have adoption, we can have that conversation. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, and I was gonna bring this up, right before Steve-O said it, but most blockchains, they start off centralized and then they build out the decentralization, and through proposals and stuff that get voted on, they become more decentralized, and it's a process, So yeah, and putting pressure on these companies too to push them to progress towards that.
Hey, what's up, Deadwood?
Yeah, there is risk of your funds being frozen or blacklisted. And I know David was talking yesterday about Nostr and how, you can't have your funds frozen on there, and there's like a lot more freedom, censorship resistance. So yeah, I'm available to be adopted.
Deadwood made it, and Bob from accounting finally showed up before the end of the show.
Hey. So yeah, we got this union tonight.
No, David and DeFi Don are doing some really interesting stuff with Nostr, and we talked about it on today's show, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it more. And it's but yeah, it's we just got to understand where we're at with this technology. It's very, very new, and the State of the Unit is on at 9 p.m. So what?
State of the Union.
So here, when this show ends, State of the Union starts. So
the State of the Union.
I don't know. Maybe we'll just share the State of the Union and let the show keep going. So
yeah.
Actually, would you mind finding that in case we decide to do that?
Yeah, let me ooh.
Oh, what's up? Drew's in the chat. What's up, brother?
Oh, we are all Bob.
We are all Bob.
Bob is I, and I is Bob.
Yes, we are Bob.
Bob, 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 Boomerang. Bob,
All
Bob,
right.
Bob.
So, but and I agree, and we can have Shaw back on, and I've talked to him. I've been talking to him since we did the interview, since me and Drew did the interview, and I know Drew did an interview with him, a follow up interview with him on the blockchain basement, and I've been talking to him about having the CEO on, and some other people on the team, and it's definitely something that we can talk to him about. How do they see the evolution of Kent Network? Is it going to stay, kind of as it is, or is it going to evolve to become more decentralized? How does that all play out? Because I was really impressed with the team and the fair launch they did with the token, where they kept none of the token. No early investors got any of the token. 100% of the tokens were put into circulation for me and you, for retail, and for anybody that needs to buy it to use the network and whatnot. So, hey, yeah, Drew, are you guys going live for the State of the Union? Let me know in the chat. If
Yeah, I
not,
think I saw DC was they have their stuff just on YouTube. They have it scheduled for actually it's starting 5 minutes, their stream, so they're probably jumping on early. I think everybody usually does the big
okay,
streams.
he says yeah. All right. I was going to invite you on and to host with us if you're not, but since you guys are, that's cool. So it looks like Vitalik. I don't really see this as news. I mean, the guy has so much Ethereum. He's always selling Ethereum, So I don't see it being that big a news. That he's selling off Ethereum, and it doesn't seem like that big of a chunk for him.
No, he's been selling it off for a while.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So just a little while ago, Coinbase announced 24/5, so not 24/7, but 24 hours a day, Monday through Friday, stock trading with zero commissions. So now you can do, and this is a beautiful thing that's happening right now. It's not 100% decentralized, but you can now buy and sell your own stocks. You don't have to go through stockbrokers, and you don't have to put buy and sell orders in and wait and go through all these hoops, and they take their fee and everybody takes a cut. You don't need to do that anymore. Now you can just go on your Coinbase account and you can buy and sell tokenized stocks. So it allows eligible U.S. users to trade fractional shares from $1 to a unified stocks and crypto portfolio. So you can buy stocks, you can do crypto loans, you can lend and borrow against your assets. Coinbase is really becoming a one-stop shop for for everything financial, both DeFi and TradFi. And I see it potentially becoming a bank as well. They already offer anywhere from 4 to 6% on USDC. It's one of the only places that you can onboard your fiat for free because of the agreement they have with Circle. You can onboard your dirty fiat into USDC for free. You can also send your USDC for free. It's how I onboard all of my money for DeFi, because I can onboard it. I can then send it to my Coinbase wallet, and all for free, no fees whatsoever. So Aerodrome, here, January, February, March. So April. What I'm seeing is April is going to be the launch of the new Aerodrome platform, and the new Aero token. And I am seeing, much like Morpho is on Coinbase, for the borrowing and lending aspect, because that's behind the scenes. That's who's facilitating those, that borrow and lend capability on Coinbase is Morpho. That's why I'm so bullish on it. And that's why I still hold a bag of it. I see Aerodrome, and this is just me talking. I don't have any inside information, but I see Aerodrome having a key part in future offerings natively on Coinbase, because they're going to have vaults. There's a bunch of new functionality that's coming to Aerodrome. So those of you that don't know, I'm a massive Aerodrome bull. Do your own research. I'm just sharing, where my head's at. I have a massive amount of Aero locked, and just 24/7, 365. I'm stacking my bags of Aero because personally, I could be wrong. I see the writing on the wall, and I want to position myself so that if Aerodrome even gets to $5 or $10 per token, that my locks earn me an income, that I can cash out each month and make like 5 to 10 grand a month off of my Aero locks, at $5 or $10, per token, which isn't out of the question. I mean, we've already hit $2.20 on Aero. Yes, we've fallen from there. We're in the 30s right now, but I just see that as an opportunity to stack more of these assets, to DCA and to lower your average entry. I do want to stress, though, that you want to make sure that you are investing in fundamentally strong projects. You also want to, and this is something that David, cued me in on, instead of just blindly buying a token because you're bullish on the project, ensure that there is a mechanism in place, a part of the tokenomics, to where you as the token holder get a share of the revenue generated by the protocol or by the chain. That's why I'm bullish on Canton. That's why I'm bullish on Aerodrome. That's why I'm bullish on Uniswap. Is there are parts of the tokenomics to where by holding the token, there is a way for you to earn. There is a way, like with Aerodrome, 100% of the fees that are generated on Aerodrome go back to VE Aero lock holders. So if you have Aero lock, that is what is paying you, is the fees that are generated off of the protocol. Anything that's not paid out to VE Aero locks is then max locked automatically by the protocol. So no new tokens. Yes, it has an infinite supply, but no new tokens are going out into circulation. That's important to understand about the tokenomics. Don't just look at the infinite supply and just think that there's just going to be this flood of tokens. Now, when people like myself that have locks, if we don't relock or we don't stay max locked in the VE Aero Maxi relay, and you allow the countdown clock to tick down and you allow your unlock to unlock, then yes, those people can sell their tokens. You need to understand these nuances to the tokenomics of what you're holding. You can learn about that stuff here, but I highly suggest you do your own research. Do not allow yourself to be spoon-fed. It makes it very easy for people to shill their own bags and get you to buy projects they're bullish on, to pump, or try to use their channel to pump their own bags. I'm not going to call anybody out on this. I do not like talking shit on other channels and stuff like that, but we all know that there's channels out there that do this. They repeatedly talk about projects to get people excited about it, to get the price to go up, and all the while they're selling their bags. Do not fall for that. Please do your own research. Don't get confirmation bias. Do not allow yourself to get sucked into echo chambers with a bunch of feel-good hopium where we're all going to buy an island together and we're going to sit on our yachts and sip champagne and do hookers and blow. That is the kind of thing that's going to wreck you. Make sure that you're investing in fundamentally strong projects with good, strong tokenomics that reward the token holders, not the owners of the protocol, or not the VCs and the investors. So, what are your thoughts?
Yep. No, yeah, strong fundamentals, good projects, but also doing your own research. Because there's a lot of good stuff, but people have different risk tolerances and risk profiles, so you can't just follow what one person says. You gotta feel what's right, do what's right for you, and have conviction. Don't just do it off of random emotion.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'll answer Crispy USMC. He doesn't ask questions very often, so I'm going to answer this. Thoughts on HBAR and XLM? Been sitting on those. I'll tell you what I did. I sold mine. I sold all my ISO narrative tokens: XLM, HBAR, XRP, Algo, all of them. I'm not telling you to do that. Do your own research. There is things going on with those projects. The question you have to ask yourself is, does the success of those projects translate to the token holders? HBAR, let's just use it as an example. I'm just picking one. I could just as easily do this with Canton or any other project. Say HBAR becomes the chain that rules them all. Is there anything in the tokenomics that rewards you as the token holder? If HBAR is, everyone's using, HBAR, there's a bunch of fees being generated and, all of that. Is there anything in the tokenomics that you holding HBAR, because the price doesn't necessarily need to go up. It's the same thing with XRP. The price doesn't need to go up. That narrative was eliminated when they made RLUSD. When they made a stable coin that can move value. That was the narrative for that. HBAR, their use case doesn't necessitate the need for a high dollar, HBAR token.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an important thing to understand. This is something that we've been saying here for a long time, and I was saying it in the chats years ago. We are moving from a retail-driven speculative market. Speculative meaning that we're all just guessing at what these tokens, what they're worth. We just buy these and hope they go up for the most part. That is speculation. We are moving from retail-driven speculative market, where the price is driven by retail, to an institutional market that is driven by utility. They want to invest in things that have real use cases, that solve real pain points, that solve, institutional issues. That's why we're seeing all of the focus with institutions, regulators, governments, almost laser focused on DeFi, on stable coins. The reason being is that is the pain point. They want to streamline and update the financial system. They just want to make sure that they can profit from it. That's why they're kicking and screaming against, it being fully decentralized. That is why I'm so laser focused on DeFi. Is I just see that is where all the liquidity is going. That is where all the mind share is for institutions. In the retail speculative market, we all used to look at where the mind share was on social media. What's being talked about? What's the hot narrative? Is it AI? Is it metaverse? Is it NFTs? And everyone was chasing the narrative. Institutionally, they're not as fickle as retail. They're not just going to jump from one narrative to another hoping to make a profit. They are laser focused on DeFi. They are looking to fix issues in the financial system. Coinbase with 24/5 stock trading. This is a massive pain point that is being addressed, and it's being fixed through tokenization. What's up? What's Crispy doing? Oh, he has
Oh, I don't
selling.
know. Oh, yeah. No, then I was looking. I saw the other comment a little while ago. I did last 2 flight schools on Arrow, and he said, "Any idea what happens with future locks?" This one right here.
Oh, I did the last 2 flight schools on Arrow. Any ideas what happens with future locks you want to do? So my understanding is that there is a new mechanism that they're going to be doing instead of flight school. A lot of that's to be determined. I'll dive into that tomorrow and update myself on that or later this week, and we'll speak on that on the next show. So if you could, Jeff, remind me to make sure I'm prepared for that. We'll do an update. Actually, let's do that on Friday. We'll do an update on the kind of what is going on with the new Aerodrome platform and token.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't know, Francis.
Man, all the peeps are showing up. C90.
What
What's up, brother?
You know what Metallicus XPR is? Not XRP, XPR. Metallicus.
Oh, yeah, XPR. I'm not super knowledgeable on it, but it was. I wanting to say it had to do with stable coins. I bought
ISO
some. I bought some.
20022.
Oh no. Let me refresh my memory real quick before I stick my foot in my mouth.
A metal blockchain developed by Metallicus.
XPR. The XPR network. Is that it?
Yeah, XPR network and metal blockchain. XPR is Proton. Steve-O said he just put a trash emoji.
Yeah, and I want to look it up before I say that, but yeah, that's.
He said Richard Hart created this with BitBoy. JK.
Yeah, I put Proton in, and this came up again.
Okay.
Huh. Here, let's go down and say what it is. The XPR network is revolutionizing blockchain with instant transactions, zero gas fees, and on-chain identity verification. It aligns with this is it. It aligns with the ISO 20022 standard. That is total fluff. The ISO narrative, all it is a messaging standard. It's not that big of a deal. I'll just end with that. Marking a transformative era of growth and innovation, this versatile platform caters to developers, entrepreneurs, and businesses, offering solutions across industries and enhances cross-border payments. This is all the same narratives as XRP and
all the fluff.
it's all the buzzwords. Tokenization of assets, DeFi, digital security, facilitates compliant trading. Another one that that we're invested in, that I'm invested in, is hold on one sec. Is KETA, KTA. It's another one that is for cross-border payments and all that. The difference is KETA is in the green. KETA is making moves. KETA is buying banks. they're actually doing something, and their token, the tokenomics are such that you can make money off of the token. So that's kind of why I stayed in Kita. But again, I'm looking at my my portfolio, and I am seriously thinking about making some adjustments because I still have bags of some stuff that do not earn. I mean, and I'm not talking about DeFi. I'm talking about just by holding the token. And honestly, Chainlink, Chainlink's one of them. Is Chainlink being used? Yes, absolutely, all over the place for interoperability. Is there a mechanism in place other than staking to earn with Chainlink? Really? No.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to move into stuff that will actually earn you because oh, and also real quick, I wanted to share a few things
yeah,
real
we're
quick.
we're out of time, or unless we're gonna stream the
Yeah,
State of the Union.
it's just real quick. I actually have that pulled up, but so AI, there's been a big hit uh in the stock market with a bunch of companies. And Dagnum posted this about COBOL, which is a programming language, and I guess Claude can streamline the COBOL code, and it's taken a massive hit, to a bunch of companies
Yeah,
that on that. So keep an eye on that. And also, yesterday when Zach XBT announced that insider investigation, USD1, World Liberty Finance
yep,
stablecoin, nearly pegged. And
yep.
then Eric Trump went deleting tweets. Uh, so there's a lot of speculation that it was them, but it might not be them. So yeah, World Liberty Fi claims it was a coordinated attack, but timing could be coincidence, but optics aren't great. And one funny thing to end on is this this dude drops $2,000 on a DJI robot vacuum. He
Oh
refuses to
yeah,
use
I
his
saw I
app,
saw that.
and he fires up Claude to crack the API so he can use an Xbox controller. Claude delivers the goods, pulls an authentication token from the servers, and
Hmm.
except the system thinks he controls 7,000 vacuums.
Well,
So
and not just controls them. Like, so he actually has access. He got access to the camera that's on it, so he can
yeah,
like look into people's houses and can get the mapping. So basically,
yep.
he was able to see, from the the Roomba going out around the rooms. They basically map the room and where the furniture and everything's at, so they can
Mhm.
avoid it. And, do its thing. And so basically able to see the layout of the inside of the house.
Mhm. Yeah, across 20 and homes across 24 countries. Live vacuum camera feed, full floor plans. I mean, that's kind of scary. That's why, man, you don't want all that Alexa and
Well,
Roombas and all that shit mapping you. But
absolutely. Well, let's pull up the State of the Union, and because I'm gonna go and check on my dinner, and then I'll be right back.
yeah, let me reshare this so I have the audio. Dun, 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 dun. Let me make sure. There we go.
Oh, it hasn't started yet.
Let's see.
Just like the government, not punctual. It's like
Nope.
it's like my pet peeve. I hate when people aren't punctual.
Oh, dude. He's had quite a few last year that were just speeches that were 30 minutes late. It's like, what the fuck, man?
I hate that shit. Yeah, I mean, the markets Morpho's up like 14% right now on the day. Aerodrome is up 16% on the day.
Oh shit.
ETH is up 4%. Kita's up 5%. Here, let's go to the overall. Well, here, let me turn it over to you real quick. I'm gonna go check on my chicken.
Yeah. Let's actually check on some of these prices.
That looks good.
Got a little bit of a pump. Yeah, I'll share this tab right. Some little price action, see what's going on. Kita, yeah, 25 cents. Arrow.
I'm just gonna be an animal and eat with my hands.
I mean, the arrow, you had a nice full div right here.
I would not know.
Down. Yeah, high or low.
Bob, just follow my buys and do the opposite. You'll make millions.
Yep. Yeah, momentum wave, a little higher. So that's on the daily. That's pretty strong.
Crypto Stevo says, look at poll.
Oh yeah. So he was saying that they had some tech upgrades and a lot of people were saying Polygon was going to be dead. And I felt the same because they just been, pretty, yeah. Same thing.
Give me some hot sauce.
Oh, here we go.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay. I'm going to go feed my cats real quick. I'll be back.
I just need to grab some hot sauce.
I put that shit on everything.
Hold on, I can't hear it.
You what?
I can't hear it now.
No?
Yeah, something happened to the sound.
Huh. Let me...
Here, I'll pull it up just in case you can't figure it out. I'll share.
Huh. Let me refresh this.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Trying to keep them on time.
I'm gonna try a selfie.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's really an honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States. Second Lady of the United States. Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. Less than 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America. When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages. And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today, our border is secure. Thank you. Today, our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before, and our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked, and America is respected again, perhaps like never before. After 4 years in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far. in the past 9 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States. But we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country. The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year. And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%. Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly a disaster, is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states, and in some places, $1.99 a gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline. Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year. And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem well, at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both. And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that. 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe. Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world, the hottest. As thousands of new businesses are forming and factories, plants, and laboratories are being built, we have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil. American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill. More Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today. And 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector. We ended DEI in America. We cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year, we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps. And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in. Go ahead. Thank you. Time, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House. They were in the Oval Office before. And I just want to say a second very big congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there, and they weren't about to say no, because I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck. Think of it, 46 shots on goal. And I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off. Do you practice that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case, my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12, it's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Great athletes have gotten that, very great, the best, and I thought he deserved it. And I did take a vote, every single one of them. I said, I'm not giving it if anybody goes no, and every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you. What a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much. I'm also pleased to say that the next time the Olympic torch is lit, it will be here in America for the 2028 Olympics, and it's the summer version right in Los Angeles. We're going to do a good job in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is going to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country. And this year, and I must say I got them both. I got them in the first term, and I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president when this happened. But strange things took place. And now I've got them because I got the Olympics and I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup. So we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming. And that is exciting news. So this will be a year to celebrate our country and the heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world. Buddy earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday. So, buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. Even in times of challenge, setback, and immense heartache, the spirit of 1776 has always shone through very brightly. It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in Central Texas. One of the worst things I've ever seen. I was there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one. As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClelland closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a helicopter above. Nobody knew where he came from. It was Scott's first ever rescue mission, a young guy, but very brave, very, very top, always top in his class. And he lifted not just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety. People watched Scott from a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something. Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate. And Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you. And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aide, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together, we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans. All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these really important and very necessary massive tax cuts. They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America. Recently in Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children, beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening, and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and our expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half. Megan, please stand up. We're fighting for you, Megan. Thank you. Thank you, Megan. We're fighting for you, Megan. Under our bill, parents like Megan can also activate their children's brand new Trump accounts. And I didn't name it. I did not name that. Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named by a very tall man sitting right there in the third row. Nice man, a good man. Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6.25 billion to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children. They're great people. When I asked Michael Dell, how do you make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school and I made computers and I'd sell them to people. And I just kept selling and selling and selling. And pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops. So I congratulate him on that. But I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you, Brad. So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it. How much money is that for somebody that started with nothing? Over 100,000, could be much more than that. To make this investment in our children's future, go to trumpaccounts.gov, trumpaccounts.gov. And a lot of people are doing it. They're setting every record in the book. It's popular. They knew what it was going to take. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it started. And now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't supposed to do it for many years were tariffs. I used these tariffs, took in hundreds of billions of dollars to make great deals for our country, both economically and on a national security basis. Everything was working well. Countries that were ripping us off for decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. They were ripping us so badly, you all know that. Everybody knows it. Even the Democrats know it. They just don't want to say it. And yet these countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done. And they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth. And the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made, right, Scott? Knowing that the legal power that I, as president, have to make a new deal could be far worse for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful countries saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes. And they have been tested for a long time. They're a little more complex, but they're actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love. Right? Moving forward, factories, jobs, investment, and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America because we finally have a president who puts America first. I put America first. I love America. For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly used the word affordability, a word. They just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem. They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down 60%. Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while. We're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing costs of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance companies have gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%, like nothing else. That's why I introduced the great healthcare plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost. In addition, my plan requires maximum price transparency. That's a big deal. Sounds so simple, so big. And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened. And now I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before. Other presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action, but I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere, the lowest price. So in my first year of the second term, should be my third term, but strange things happen. I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more. All available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way. And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big. Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase. But a few weeks ago, she logged onto the Trump RX website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500. Going to be a great mom. So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law. Now, the one thing, I'm not sure it matters because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes. And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent, because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Racel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year. As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information. They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
He just straight pointed out fucking Nancy Pelosi before he announced that. That
I
was
wasn't sure.
beautiful.
I know,
the
dude.
side was
Just
open.
baller, man.
I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance.
She's squirming in her chair. Ilhan
Dude.
Omar.
That piece of shit needs to be removed from office.
Bro, how has she not been indicted yet?
We'll get it done.
I want to see a real
And we're
investigation.
able to find enough
I guarantee
of that
she's
fraud.
part of it.
We will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali
Am I hearing
pirates
Democrats
who
yelling in the
ransacked
background?
Minnesota remind us that there
Yeah.
are large
Yeah, they're-
parts
they're-
of the
they're
world
back
where
there
bribery,
heckling
corruption, and lawlessness
Look at that bitch.
are
Oh
the
my
norm,
God.
not the exception. Importing
fucking
these
ugly
cultures
too, dude.
through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings us problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent.
That's the look I would give my dad
taxes,
when I
and
knew I was
perhaps
in
most
trouble.
importantly,
Oh, she's
crime.
fucked.
We will
She's so
take
fucked.
care
She's
of
got to
this
be,
problem.
bro.
We're gonna
She's
take
got
care
to
of
be.
this problem. We are not playing games.
Yeah, that's right.
Delilah Colvin was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
Bro, this little girl got injured by some truck driver.
Yeah, it was all over the news. There's basically a legal alien that was allowed to be a commercial truck driver. Had a CDL, couldn't read the English road signs, and somehow got a CDL, and ended up freaking plowing in, killing the mom, and almost crippling her.
Damn, dude.
Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens.
Was that girl's name? Delilah?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Good, man. About time.
I think it'd be common sense. I had my CDL. I mean, how the hell do you pass that test without knowing English?
I have no idea. It's got to be a scam somehow.
Dude, I had to study for like a month. I had to go to like a course before I was able to take it.
No, it's got to be that they're just handing them out in certain states, like for nothing.
These are the angel
California is
moms and
the big
families
one.
that for decades
A
our
big
government
one.
betrayed and our
Like
media
60,000,
totally
right?
ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school.
You don't have to love everything about Trump,
Elizabeth
But
Medina
he's much
was
better
supposed
for
to
America.
perform
Puts
in the
America
town's
first
Christmas
before
parade,
friggin'
but
you know
she
any
never
of
arrived.
the
Her
recent
mother,
Democrats.
Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found
Dude,
her lying
Trump is
dead in a
fucking a
bathtub,
patriot, bro.
bleeding profusely
But I mean,
after
I
being
don't agree with
stabbed
everything he does. But
25
yes,
times.
I mean at least he fucking puts
Elizabeth's
America
killer
first, Americans first.
was a previously arrested
I
illegal
think that
alien who
him
had broken
turning
in
his head, that
and
was divine
just
providence.
brutally extinguished the brightest light in the family's life.
I don't have any facts to support
I don't know,
that.
bro.
Her heartbroken mother
it's a
is in
pretty
the
fucking
gallery to
pivotal
remind
moment.
everyone in
I'll
this
say that.
chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them.
When I like how he said earlier in the speech that it's not legal, like we welcome legal immigration.
Oh,
It's the
dude,
people who are supposed
my
to be
neighbors
here.
from Thailand, they spent tens of thousands of dollars in like 7 years for her. They need immigration reform. Yes,
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
but people do need to come here
Thank
legally.
you.
Yeah.
We can never forget
gotta
that
be
many
legal.
in this room not only allowed the border invasion
And they need to
happen
integrate into
before I got
our
involved,
society.
but
We don't
indeed
need
they would do it
turn into wherever
all
they
over
can.
again if they ever had the chance.
Right,
If they ever got
exactly.
elected, they would open up those borders to
That's the
some
problem
of
with
the worst
Islam.
criminals anywhere in the world.
Oh yeah,
The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald
It's
J.
Trump.
and our great Republican
Right.
patriots in Congress. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And then you've got on the other side the Democrat Party, which is like basically communist now.
they what?
The Democrat Party
As
is
we
basically
speak.
communist now.
Democrats
Oh
in
no,
this
they
chamber
openly.
have cut off
Yeah.
all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off.
That's crazy.
All cut off.
They're proud of it.
They have
I know.
instituted another
fucking
Democrat
nuts.
shutdown. The first one costing us 2 points.
Today, AOC
on
and
GDP.
Ghani
2
were
points we
friggin'
lost on GDP,
all
which
happy
probably
and
made them
smiling and
quite
laughing because
happy.
they were given child care to
Now
illegal
they
aliens.
have closed
Not to
the
Americans,
agency responsible
not to
for
hardworking
protecting
Americans. Pay
Americans from
taxes,
terrorists and
but
murderers.
illegals.
Tonight I'm demanding
I know.
the
I've seen
full
it.
and immediate
No, they did
restoration
today.
of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case
I
you
love
need a
him,
pretty
dude.
large snowstorm out there.
And they're requiring
One of the
IDs in
great
New
things
York
about
for you
the
to
State
shovel
of
And
the
snow.
like
Union
3 forms
is
of
how it
ID
gives
too.
Americans the chance to see clearly
Yeah.
what their
But not to vote.
representatives
Not to
really
vote,
believe.
but to shovel snow,
So
you need
tonight,
an
I'm
ID.
inviting every
Right.
legislature
So,
to
like
join
snow
with my
minorities are shoveling
administration
snow
in
because
reaffirming
supposedly
a
they
fundamental
can't figure out how to
principle.
get an ID according
If
to.
you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
That's right.
100 shouldn't even have to be said. And you know what? A helping point. We can't help anybody if we're weak in point. We can't weaken ourselves and try to fix the world. We need to bring the rest of the world up, not bring ourselves down.
Suicidal empathy.
Yes.
It's insane. It's insane.
God's sod is right.
Oh yeah.
That suicidal empathy, yeah.
I like that. It's like moral narcissism. It boils.
Yeah. It
You know,
is.
It boils a lot into just 2 words.
It really is.
Yeah. Look at me. Look how much I care. Look how great of a person I am. Like, I expect you to just do good things. And it's good to do.
He's looking right at the Dems too.
Oh yeah.
Staring.
Oh, staring them down.
Bro, they suck. That guy's a traitor.
That guy's like,
And that bitch sitting next to him is a fucking traitor too.
And Plaskett.
like, how did he go from being like an American astronaut and service member to being that?
Fucking Money. Power.
It's insane to me.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should
That's
be
right.
ashamed of yourself. That is why
That's
I'm also
right.
asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect
Oh my
the
God!
criminals
Didn't they
and
used to
enact
have the
serious
fucking
penalties for public
throw them
officials
out?
who block the removal of criminal aliens? In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country. They're blocking the removal of these people
Can't they
our
use?
country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Can't they throw them out? The sergeant at arms can go in and throw them out, right?
If they get too out of hand, they can.
I tell you what, Mr. President. Not in my house.
Bro, they need to fucking throw her ass the fuck out of there, dude.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act
And implement voter ID, finally.
to stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. The cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple.
Man, Tulsi
All
Gabbard, man,
voters
she's
must
aged.
show voter ID.
Kind of like president. No, you ever
Just
noticed
gonna
that?
say, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's visibly aged.
Yeah.
Bro, can you imagine the stress of that job?
Exactly. Well, look at Obama. Like when he came into office, black
All
hair,
voters must
freaking
show
very
proof
youthful.
of
When he
I
got
know.
out,
citizenship
he
in order to
aged
vote.
like 20
Bro,
years.
did you see, Mike, what happened to Big Mike? Big Mike, she aged. She aged pretty hard too, bro.
No more
Who?
crooked mail-in
Big
ballots
Mike.
except for illness,
I don't know.
disability,
Michelle.
military,
Oh, Michelle.
Big Mike.
Big Mike. Okay, sorry.
And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%.
That's right. People want it. People want voter ID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a social security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all,
Right.
voting in America. No, it's no good.
Oh, it's so silly.
No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on
Showing
the
up, showing their
policy
ID,
that-
getting shovels, and then
we
going
just
home and getting paid
enunciated.
$30 an hour.
And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It should be first.
Oh, dude, that lady looks like Olgra or whatever off of the Dark Crystal.
She looks like fucking, she works at the DMV, bro.
Oh no, yeah, she definitely looks like she works at the
The
DMV.
reason they don't
Yeah.
want to do it. Why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason.
Right.
They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things. You almost say, what imagination they have.
Is
You
that
need it-
fucking
They want to
bitch
cheat.
still
They have
screaming in the
cheated,
background?
And their policy is so
So-
bad
so
that the
no
only way they
minorities
can get elected is to
buy
cheat.
alcohol
and we're
or
going to
cigarettes
stop it. We have to
instead of
stop it,
drive?
John.
It's like, what? What do
You
you
need-
mean?
Like they've never cashed a check.
For
what's-
everything.
What's so difficult about getting an ID? You can get a free ID, not a driver's license, but
And here is one more
go
opportunity
to
to
the
show
DMV.
common sense.
Everyone has an
government.
ID.
Yeah,
In the gallery
Even illegal
tonight
aliens.
are Sage
you
Blair
can't
and
go
her
do banking
mother,
without
Michelle.
an ID.
In 2021, Sage
Anything
was
without money.
14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a
Happens a
confused
lot.
Sage ran away from home
Mhm.
after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son.
What in the
Sage
fuck,
was
dude?
thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full ride scholarship to Liberty University.
Yeah, that's
Sage
fucking
and
dude.
Michelle, please stand
Liberty
up.
University is a good school. That's where I got my degree at. In cybersecurity, believe it or not.
I got my degree in beer drinking, bro.
Well, all my military schools added up to like
Thank you for your great
2 years
bravery.
of
And who
college
can
and 3
believe
years
that
of
we're even
college.
speaking about
And so I just had to
things
take my
like this?
prereqs. And
15 years
one or two
ago, if
courses,
somebody
and I
was
got
up there
my
and said that,
degree.
they'd say,
Oh
what's
shit.
wrong with
Hell
them?
yeah.
But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we're even
Right?
talking about this? We must ban
Sorry,
it,
kid can't.
and we must ban it immediately.
They shouldn't be able to freaking mutilate their body.
No,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of hospitals and medical facilities that just came out recently saying that they're stopping
These
that
people
kind of
are
procedure.
crazy. I'm telling
Thank
you,
God.
they're crazy.
They should.
Like does
They are crazy. They're
Doesn't-
crazy, bro.
Whatever an adult wants to do to their own body, whatever. None of my
Children
business.
cannot consent. They can't
they can't.
consent.
Until you're done developing, you shouldn't make those
Boy,
decisions.
oh boy. We're lucky we have a country with people like this. Democrats are destroying
Oh my
our country.
God.
But
It's
we've
all
stopped
women,
it
bro.
just
It's
in
all
the nick of
old,
time.
ugly, fat bitches,
Dude,
dude.
it's all Karens. It's just a
It's
big
a fucking crowd of Karens.
ocean
Oh
of
my
Karens.
God.
It's a hey, look, be quiet. You're gonna spook it. It's a herd of Karens.
No one cares more about protecting America's youth
Now,
than our
aren't they
wonderful
beautiful?
first
All
lady.
grouped
No, a
together.
movie star. She's a movie star.
their haircuts all short.
Oh, dude.
Who would've
God,
believed that?
she's beautiful, bro.
Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping
came a
to
long
secure
way.
$30 million
Crazy
to
smart.
launch the Melania
Didn't they
Trump
Yeah.
release
Foster
a
Youth
movie about
to
her?
Independence
I think they
initiative.
did.
It's a tremendous,
Yeah.
I was
really a
surprised at
tremendous
how
thing that
fucking
happened. And
intelligent
had a
she
lot
is.
of
Because she never
bipartisan
talks.
support.
Mhm.
She
And
gets
then, like,
much
I
better
actually heard her in an
bipartisan
interview. I
support
was like,
than I
oh,
do.
holy
I
shit. I
get
thought she was
none. She
pretty
gets a
famous.
lot.
She was a model back in the day.
Someday you're gonna
I
have
mean,
to tell me
dude,
how you
like
did
she's
that. And
she's a
students
beautiful
and
woman.
educators in every
Well, she-
state have joined the
she reminds
First
me of,
Lady's
Jackie
efforts in the
You know, just a
presidential
classy,
AI challenge, keeping
elegant,
America's next
intelligent,
generation positioned
a
to
woman.
succeed and strongly succeed in the future.
Jackie
Tonight, we
O.
welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both. And Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much.
What did he say? I know how hard you work. Thank you, baby.
Yeah,
You know what he said?
he did.
Yeah.
Am I, even if it is a script, it's she still has to freaking
I'm very proud to say that
but
during my
the
time in
fact that
office,
she's
both
like she
the
actually
first
has
4 years and in particular
is
this
very,
last
very
year,
intelligent.
there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity,
She doesn't
and
always
belief
have a
in God.
teleprompter in front of her.
Tremendous renewal.
And also, if Trump's reading the script, it's pretty impressive. He hasn't
No,
opened that book
he's-
once with no notes.
No, they have these glass plates that are
Okay, I was gonna
This
say,
is
like-
especially
left and
true
right,
among young
and
people.
you can only
And a
see
big
what's
part of that had
the
to do
teleprompter
with-
from
Okay.
one side.
My great
So,
friend,
I didn't
Trump
see-
is-
Charlie Kirk.
He
I
ad
didn't see
libs quite a bit. He ad libs quite a bit. A lot of his little quips and a lot of the stuff that he
Snake, evil.
Yeah, the jabbing that he does.
So last year, Charlie
No.
was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred for his.
That really
I
messed
think
me up
she's
for a little
fucking
while.
handled
His
her.
wonderful wife, Erica,
I don't
is
trust
with
that
us
at
tonight.
all.
Erica, please stand.
She's fucking bad vibes, man.
Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that
That was horrible.
America
bro.
is one nation under God, and we must totally reject
Any
political
protests and
violence of
riots
any kind.
after that, on the right.
0. Crusade.
Imagine if that was somebody prominent on the left. There would have been riots in the street.
We love religion.
Oh yeah.
And we love bringing it back, and it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our communities safe. We have made incredible strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zarutska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail, stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zarutska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina.
Bro, her and Kirk together, so close.
How do you not stand? How do you not stand?
I know.
I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there.
I love that he's just just talks
I
just
know.
to the Democrats. That whole statement.
Well, I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Starting last summer, I deployed our National Guard and federal law enforcement to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success, New Orleans, Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen?
Crazy what happens when you lock up all the people committing violent crime, huh?
Well, and look what's going on in New York. They have mobs of people freaking.
In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down
for the people
close
that
to
protect them. And the
100%
people that go out and put their lives
from a
on
year ago.
to protect these ungrateful facts.
They don't like to hear that. One of the sick people, one of the brave service members who helped achieve this stunning turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service, and her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her. But the very next day, she was on patrol near the White House when she was ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country. And all because she wore the uniform of our nation, she was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged, shouldn't have been in our country.
That's why there's
Sarah
a legal
Beckstrom
process
died in
to
order
at
to
least
defend our capital.
restrain people.
And we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Evalie. Your daughter was a true American patriot, and she will be greatly missed. She was a great person. I saw reports on her. They've never seen anything like her.
So that fucking guy from Afghanistan came in on one of those flights on the way out, right? When it was ending, when Biden fucking just pulled everyone out all at once.
I honestly don't know. I don't want to comment on it because I haven't heard that.
I think he was.
So sorry. Thank you very much. A great young lady. I saw reports that were like, perfect. She was perfect. Serving alongside Sarah that day was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night. And she was so positive. The doctors thought that Andrew was gone. But his mother said, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was given almost no chance. She said, I have no doubt, sir, he's going to be okay. This was a conversation that I had with her that night, with her son laying helplessly in bed, blood all over. Everybody is praying, she said, sir, he will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying. And after looking at the results of the damage done, neither did I. She was so strong and conclusive that even Andrew's great father felt she didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melanie? She turned out to be right.
Oh my God.
Got shot in the head, and there he is.
Bro. He's probably
Strong
got no
dome.
hair. He's got no hair, man.
He's wearing a hat because I guarantee you that he has some pretty big
Yeah.
scars going on.
That's
Only imagine
amazing.
what he had to do to fucking save him.
What type of nickname you get after
Amazing,
something like
actually.
that? Damn.
All right.
Where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death, and we're talking about the edge of death, on his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much.
And we got 30 people on the arena. Shout out.
Oh,
to
I
y'all.
know. Yeah, people are freaking interested in this. Here, I was going to watch it. Might as well do like a freaking group watch.
So, Andrew, while you're up, now I'm going to ask a highly respected General James Seward to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the great family of Sarah Beckstrom with the award created by our late, great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart.
This shit, dude. This shit right here.
Yeah, Don, I was going to say the same thing. He's done a lot of good things, recognizing people that have been impacted or have done incredible things. You know, even last year, the families people who are affected by the illegal immigrants, that is just that's what you want to see, like recognizing people.
We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. In my first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? You're sick people. Cambodia,
Marco!
Thailand, Pakistan.
What are they
and
yelling
India.
about?
Would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people.
I know Marco
said
Rubio's ears
the
are
Prime
like
Minister of Pakistan would
the
have
fucking
died
longest
overnight
ears I've
in
ever
my
seen.
involvement. Kosovo and
Massive, like
Serbia,
half of his head.
Israel and Iran,
Why?
Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, the Congo and Rwanda, and of course the war in Gaza, which proceeds at a very low level. It's just about there. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jared.
Smoking that Kushner.
Isn't that like his son-in-law?
Yeah.
And I also want to thank the man they report to, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Thank you, Marco.
My mom used to call me Dumbo growing up. 'Cause She's like, "Fly away, Dumbo."
Your mom used to tell you that?
Yeah.
That's messed up. Your mom was your bully.
Yep.
People like
Oh my,
him.
yeah, my mom and dad.
You know, Marco got 100% of the votes.
Why were you got your sense of
He was
humor?
in confirmation. I think our
Yeah.
next one was about.
He was always in love,
54%.
though. Always in love.
Exactly.
And some of the
Exactly.
Democrats are now saying, I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way, right, Marco? You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever.
Welcome, sweet
Dude.
buddy.
Marco has been crushing it, man.
He's a silent killer, man. He's just always in the back. Just,
ceasefire I negotiated, every single hostage, both living and dead, has been returned home. Can you believe that?
You got it done, bro. Those guys got it done.
Nobody thought it was possible. Nobody thought that was possible. Both living and dead. And those parents who had a dead son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy, they wanted him as much as though he were living. That was an amazing period of time. They came back, and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many,
Betterman
more, hundreds.
It has surprised me.
But I said those
Betterman's
last
starting to
20
say
we
some
took
pretty
to get them
base
back.
shit.
Yeah,
We
man.
got back
He has.
14 or 15 of the dead of the 28.
but he had that stroke.
You believe
or
it or not,
stroke.
Hamas
And,
along with Israel.
It cured him.
They dug.
Usually that has an opposite effect.
It's a tough,
Yeah.
it's a tough thing to do. Going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found. Tough job. And they finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And I remember the family of the 28th. They were so grieved, but they were so happy as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job. And we're working very hard to end the 9th war the killing and slaughter between Russia and Ukraine, where 25,000 soldiers are dying each and every month. Think of that, 25.
Bro, that's a crazy number of people
soldiers
every
are
month.
dying a month.
Dude, like, where are all
A
these
war
people
which would have
coming
never
from?
happened if I were president.
There must be like a
Never
massive
happened.
shortage of men in that
As
country.
president, I will make
Yeah.
peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. That's
That's
why
a bad
in a
joke. I was
breakthrough
going to say,
operation
the
last
dating scene
June,
over there is a
the
guy
United States
off the hook.
military
Oh my
obliterated
God.
Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer.
Come on, Pam. Do something.
Yeah, do something, Pam. Do all the things.
The Bondi.
The Dow is over
For decades, it was
50,000.
the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain
50,000.
a nuclear weapon.
What was she
Many
thinking?
decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb. And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact. He was the father of
He
the
cried
roadside bomb.
like a little girl.
Hey, didn't they? How'd they get him?
They went in with special operations.
And just
Went in
over
and
the last
freaking
couple of
marked him
months
with
the protests,
freaking attack
they
dogs
killed
and
at least, it looks like,
Yeah.
32,000
night vision goggles, you know.
32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America.
it's only a matter
After
of
midnight
Okay, there's the
they
justification right
were
there.
warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again. And are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference.
They gotta go.
You know, at least some Democrats stood
My
up. for that.
preference is to solve
They
this
can
problem
stand up and
through
applaud for
diplomacy.
you know,
But one
Iran
thing
not
is
having
certain,
nuclear
I will
weapons.
never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
You see the face he just made?
What's that?
And the face that he made when he said that. And
Oh,
it's just interesting to watch.
No
Yeah.
nation should ever doubt America's resolve.
You know,
We have the
nonverbal
most
communication
powerful military
is what I
on
focus
earth. I
on.
rebuilt the military in my first term.
You can
We're gonna
glean a lot
continue to
more
do
from
so.
somebody's body language
Also,
than you
we
can
just
their
approved
words.
$1 trillion
You
budget.
can.
We have no choice. We have to be strong because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective.
And if we're not strong, fucking watch what happens in the world.
So thanks to Republican in Congress who are investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies, have just agreed at my very strong request to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of them.
Thank you.
Right.
Now they're paying 5 as opposed
How
to
does
not
everybody
paying
get a seat at the fucking table to decide how shit's run if they're not fucking paying into it?
They don't. Not anymore.
And getting that 5% was something which everyone said would never be done, could not happen. We got it really easily. One meeting. And
America was basically the world
between
fucking
2%
police.
that's not paid.
NATO.
Afraid of many of them. Very few were paid up. Now 5%, then they're paid.
Oh, there's
Everything we
Pelosi.
send over to
Yeah.
Ukraine is sent through
The
NATO. They
crypt
pay us
keeper.
in full.
I know. She's, what's her badge say? Release the files.
Branch of our armed forces
Fucking
is
retard.
setting records.
There's a
for
bunch of them
recruitment.
wearing
This
it.
is so exciting. And every service member recently.
Last I checked, it was released, wasn't it?
I know, right?
Like over 3 million pages and a bunch of videos and pictures and
every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I guess mine's lost in the mail.
Yeah, Mike, let us know when you get that.
You know, they put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other things. A lot of money we have. We have much more money than people understand. Have to rebuild that program a little bit, but it won't take long. But we got the money, and it was $1,775, and they wanted my approval. And I said, "What's the number?" $1,775. I said, "Wait a minute. For $1 more, we can have $1,776." It's going to. I said, "We're going to figure that." I never asked anybody if we could afford it. $1 more. I said $1,776, and I said, "That's good." And I'll tell you what, our military. That was 4 months ago. Our military. I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it. So we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we call it 1776. It was great. And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love our firemen. You know, the firemen don't get mentioned enough. We love our firemen. We're also
Yeah, Hoopty. Pelosi does look like she had a stroke. She also got some knockers on her, man.
Oh my God, dude. Those things have grown over time.
Violence, drugs, terrorism, and
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Here's large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by murderous drug cartels. That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
it fucking is, bro. That's what China's using it for.
Exactly.
You know, they're funneling all that shit.
And with our new military campaign, we have stopped
They know that it
record amounts
damages
of
America.
drugs coming into our country and virtually stopped it completely coming in by water or sea. You probably noticed that. We very seriously damaged their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday. In January,
Anybody that's watching on X or any of the other channels, over to the arena and YouTube, because freaking you can chat.
Spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history. No one's seen anything like it. Foreign leaders, I won't tell you who, called me and they said, very impressive. Very impressive. They couldn't believe, they all watched. They saw what happened. This is a different fighting force that we had years ago when we fought to tie. You know, it's a great
when you had
fighting force.
freaking
I'm so proud of
military leaders that were freaking men dressed in like women.
Space Force is my baby.
Bro, it was crazy.
Did that.
It was
Dude,
insanity.
It's becoming so important.
Dude, when I was a military recruiter, you can't even join them if you have any kind of like mental condition. You can't join the military, but like a dude that dresses like a woman is okay.
You can be an admiral. No, you can be a fucking admiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Exactly.
I was
And
there was a young
America's
man I
armed
wasn't
forces
able to
overwhelmed
get into the
all
military because
defenses and utterly
when he was
defeated
like
the
8,
enemy
his parents
and
got
fighters.
divorced, and so they took him
To end
to
the reign of outlaw
a
dictator Nicolas
psychologist once
Maduro and
to
bring
see how he
him
was
to
dealing with
face
the
American
divorce.
justice.
And I couldn't get the medical records, so he couldn't get it. But a dude that dresses like a woman.
And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States. And it also opens up a bright new beginning for the people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains for both of our countries.
Mash,
to bring
Corporal
new hope
Klinger.
to those who have suffered so terribly. They really did
Yeah.
suffer. With us tonight is
Klinger was hilarious.
Alejandro Gonzalez. She grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially close to her beloved uncle Enrique. But after
Enrique.
Enrique ran
I
for
love it.
office and opposed Maduro, he was
Enrique.
kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous prison in Caracas. Alejandro feared she would never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come. Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform
Good.
you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate
Oh my
his freedom
God,
with
no
you in
way.
person. Enrique, please come down.
Dude. That's amazing, man. Did they really use the State of the Union to reintroduce them? Or wow. That's amazing, dude. What do you think they said his crime was? You know?
Fucking who knows, dude.
Yeah.
Whenever you get socialist freaking, governments
You had
like
too many kernels of corn.
Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that
probably said
January
something against
raid
the government
to
or
capture
something.
Maduro.
Yeah.
Really great heroes.
Dude,
It was
they
very
they
dangerous. They never
jail
went down
freaking
because they were all
journalists.
set.
Like if
But the
journalists,
deeds of one
say
warrior
anything
that
with
night will
freaking
live forever in the eternal
Castro did it.
chronicles of
And
military
in Cuba,
valor.
it's just like throughout history, that's
Chief
what they do.
Warrant
They
Officer
silence the
5,
opposite.
Eric
Why don't they
Clover,
start jailing some of these quote
planned the
unquote
mission and
journalists
was the
here? These people
flight
are like
lead in the
activists
cockpit.
pretending to be
First
journalists,
helicopter.
man.
Yeah.
A big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine,
A shit
many,
hook.
I know.
many American warfighters.
That's what we
Wearing
used
the
to call it.
dog tags, his
A
wife,
shit hook.
Amy, had
Yeah.
blessed with holy water before he left. She knew it was going to be a rough one.
I've
Eric
jumped out of
steered
a
the
bunch of them.
Chinook under the cover of night and descended
It's
swiftly
fucking
upon
awesome, dude.
Maduro's heavily protected military fortress. This was a major
Yeah, they got him with the
military
space
installation,
lasers. That's how.
protected by thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and Chinese.
I'm gonna get a little
military
cocktail. I'll be right back.
How
Yeah.
did that work out? Not too good. While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots, shredding his leg into numerous pieces. And yet, despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine gun stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turn the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard in the exact right spot, which was vital to the mission, probably would have had maybe cancel the mission if that didn't happen. Eric told his co-pilot, also wounded, but not as gravely, to take over. I'm about ready to pass out. The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to take searing pain. It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs of the bullets and keep on flying and landing. And people knew what was happening. Everybody in the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife, Amy. Eric and Amy, come on in.
A big boy.
Jeez.
Dude's
Yes,
fucking
he-
yoked.
It's like
I
a
told you he
Frankenstein.
is.
Dude, he does. He's fucking yoked, man.
That's how he
No-
survived.
Oh, no wonder, man. If
So
you,
we're
Yeah.
very surprised.
he got shot in the leg, fucking, it was probably like me getting hit by a BB.
In recognition of
Probably.
Eric's actions.
Okay.
Oh
above
my
and
God,
beyond
look at what he's
call
getting.
of duty, I would now like to ask General
Like Captain America right
Jonathan
there.
Braga
No, exactly.
to
That's
present
fucking, yeah,
Chief
hell yeah,
Warrant
Jeff.
Officer Slover with our nation's highest military
Wow.
award, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Wow, dude.
They don't give that away lightly.
No.
Like it doesn't fit around his neck. It gets extended.
Right? So that patch on his right arm is special operations.
God.
The red arrowhead with the sword.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Eric and Amy. Great to get to know you. I met with them and with a lot of their fellow warriors.
Oh,
at
I
Fort
just
Bragg.
realized he has a walker with
You
him.
notice the
I'm like,
big
Yeah.
flag
why are
with
his
the
hands like locked out like
First
that?
World War with it, the Second World War.
Thought he was,
with
like,
it, and then
standing
we
at
decided to
attention for a
change the
minute.
name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House. And Eric will be there. Thank you.
I wish I was fucking able to serve with him as president, not the presidents I served under.
Oh yeah.
Dude, most of mine was Clinton,
Thank you.
Obama, and it with
That's a big
some
one.
Bush sprinkled in.
Bush.
Tonight we've
Yeah.
celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living.
I'm not a
legend
big
to
fan
honor
of the-
before we go.
The junior and senior
One
Bush.
more heroic American
No.
Nope.
aviator.
Nope.
Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions.
Well, Junior just
In
seemed like a
disguise over
kid with
Korea in
Down syndrome or something.
1952, Royce was in the
Junior was a puppet.
dogfight.
He got
Right.
elected because his
Legendary
name,
dogfight.
and his dad and
Flying
Cheney
through
were fucking actually
blizzard
running the government.
conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes.
He was
It
part of that
his
Skull
first
and
aerial
Bones.
combat of the war, and despite
I
being
wouldn't doubt
massively outnumbered
You know what you got to
and
do to get
outgunned,
into that, right?
led the takedown of 4
I don't know,
jets
freaking
and
Why does he look like Sora?
fuck off Scout. I don't know.
vanquished Chinese adversaries.
You got to go into the jizz coffin, bro.
263
I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
to his own plane and being
Jeff, have you heard of that shit for Skull and
Oh,
Bones?
The story was
I've heard
secret
the
for
Skull
over
and
50
Bones.
years. He
I've
didn't even
never heard
want to
any of
tell
that.
his wife,
Oh,
but
bro.
later grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
Wow.
Ah, dude,
you
waited.
get a medal. You get a medal, and you get a medal.
You know that's what CNN's going to say, right? Yeah.
I'd like to read the fucking bio on.
It's a badass motherfucker right there is what that is.
Mm-hmm. Later, Hoopty.
Hey, have a great night, Hoopty.
See ya, Hoopty.
Oh, do the dance, do the hoop, look, do the hoopty hoop.
Do the Hoopty ho.
Bro, 220 missions in Vietnam? Damn.
Fuck. Like, y'all don't know what hard is.
Not to diminish, what Medal of Honor winners do, but there's so many things that are worthy of what they get recognized for that no one will ever know. There's so many things that happen in combat and selfless acts of heroism, and people looking out for the person to their left and to their right. And these are just ones that an officer or somebody freaking put in for an award, and they got it. It's just,
I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was
Oh, the military is a corporation.
Myself, and I wouldn't
Had
know
to
why
go
I'd be
obtain.
taking it, but
Yeah.
if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday. But that's our highest honor, Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing. And
Yeah.
it's an honor to be in the same room with you. Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you.
Bro, I love Trump, dude. I love what he does. Like giving out 2 medals of honor like this to fucking deserving people. It's like, dude, I love that shit.
I just love that there's patriots in our government again.
Me too.
250
Or at least
years
feels
is
that
a long time in the life of a nation.
No, it's real.
But in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. 2 of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago, 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from
That
the
is
heroes
crazy.
who stand among
Yeah.
us tonight.
Imagine
Yeah,
if humans
Everything
could
our
live for
nation
200
has done,
years.
everything
Oh
we've
yeah,
achieved
you
has
could have been
the work
alive
of
at
those few great
little
lifetimes.
fucking moments in
In
time.
those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together, we mastered the world's mightiest industries, shattered history's monstrous tyrannies, and we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel, and then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride.
Dude, I got to show this real quick. Freaking Jay posted this. Trump bringing out Maduro at the State of the Union. Dude, that's freaking hilarious.
Oh my god.
Let me put it back
Get
here.
lost. Oh, shit.
Legacy, unmatched glory,
Oh,
hardworking patriots who built
I had to share
defended
that.
this country and who still
fucking-
carry the hopes and freedoms
The gimp from
of
Pulp
all of
Fiction.
humanity. For years, they were forgotten,
Oh,
betrayed, and cast
Tear
aside.
my shirt.
But that great betrayal is over, and they will never be forgotten again. Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the
No oil-rich
hand
country.
Oh, dude, it's almost
These
over,
first
man.
250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of
lead-filled
Florida
pipes
to
of
endless
Flint.
fields of the Dakotas,
Oh my god.
and from the
It's been that
historic
way for
streets of
years.
Philadelphia,
They never
Oh, no,
fixed it.
right
dude,
here
I
in our
lived there.
nation's
I know.
capital, Washington, D.C. The golden
That
age
place
of
is
America
disgusting.
is upon us. The revolution that began
Because of
in
Democrats, bro.
1876 has
That's
not
exactly what
ended.
happened.
It still
It was-
continues because the
It was
flame
booming,
of
and
liberty
the
and
Republicans and
independence
Democrats
still
took over, and
burns
it
in
went
the
to
heart
shit.
of every
Exactly.
American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before.
Detroit,
Thank you.
Atlanta,
God bless you. And
freaking all
God bless America.
Bro, fucking Dearborn.
yeah,
Dearborn became Little Iran, bro.
yeah.
Or Little Somalia, or whatever the fuck. Same difference.
All right. Let's see here.
Well, I can't believe they clapped that one time for the stock ban. So that was crazy to see.
That was great, man. That was great. I thought he did a great job. And I really liked all the medals. I liked the fact that, people who deserve to get recognized were able to get recognized like that and for it to mean something. I thought that the Democrats not showing up, like, fuck them. Like, let them all not show up. It's better than having those, handful of bitches in the audience just screaming. Like, let them all not show up.
And it's always the usual suspects. It's all the ones that are trying to freaking distract away from the obvious corruption. It's because Ilhan Omar. Come on, it's that whole district that she got elected in is the one had all the Somalis shipped to it, and it's the one that all the daycares that freaking our tax dollars, the billions of dollars in our tax dollars that went to fund it, to a bunch of not illegals, but you know what I mean, to where
Damn near.
they don't like, what is it? It was at 70% or 75% of them are on food stamps and housing and all that. So why do they need daycare? If they're not going to a fucking job and paying taxes, why the hell do they need daycare?
And not just that, bro. Like the money that was being paid to the daycares was like astronomically high, like
Well,
much greater than what your expenses would be.
Well, and and my understanding is that they showed that the AG, the deputy governor, and the governor, Waltz, they shut down the departments that were supposed to oversee the fraud when evidence of fraud was brought forward. And I was under the understanding there was supposed to be an investigation going on to uncover if they received, any kickbacks or, funds, from, these daycares and different organizations, because USAID was used to basically launder fucking money, our tax dollars, back to, freaking, Democrat organizations.
Yeah, man. I think that what the governor there and the AG there and the mayors in those towns and the apparatus that like actually cut the checks, what all those people did together was create a system that could give money to Somalis in exchange for votes.
Yeah.
So like that's what they did.
Yeah.
And they ran that scam for a fucking over a decade.
Yeah.
And just now got found out. And if it isn't for the SAVE Act, we need the SAVE Act, because I'd be willing to bet the majority of that Somali community is not actually citizens. They're not actually citizens.
Oh, I guarantee they're not.
Yeah. So they won't be able to vote anymore. So if they can't, or maybe, hopefully, they won't be able to vote anymore if that SAVE Act passes.
That SAVE Act, man. My aunt was complaining so hard about that because she's like, well, if your last name on your birth certificate's different than after you got married, she's claiming that that's going to suppress a bunch of votes from people.
Right, but
and
that's what was heard from like
people are grandfathered in, so you won't have to go, get the whatever documents or your last name can be different. But she's like all like crazy about, well, this is going to suppress, people from voting. And I was like, what are you talking about? There's people that, don't have IDs that, just can go vote. And we're shipping in all people from other countries.
And if you want to vote, you can just go update your ID.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's bottom line. You want to vote, go update your fucking ID.
Yeah. And, so Jeff, what your grandmother's saying, dude, I saw your aunt. Yeah. I saw exactly that clip, and it was from like AOC or Ilhan Omar, or one of them, like running down, one of the corridors in Congress. And she said exactly that, exactly what you just said, word for word. And I couldn't even believe it. It just sounds like bullshit,
because it's propaganda. It's basically, the same shit that you see whenever they you watch those clips of when they go to colleges and they just parrot whatever, the same thing, whatever their professor tells them is just fact. They just fucking parrot whatever it is they say. And you can tell, when that is the basis for someone's point of view, is if it's those talking points,
right.
Talking points. If their whole point of view is nothing but a chain of talking points, they're not educated on the topic. They're just, repeating what they heard.
Yep. 100%, man. And, how many people do you think actually like consume content and form their own opinion? And how many do you think will just literally parrot back what they hear? Because that's what I hear from my parents a lot. Like, dude, it's crazy.
People who live in echo chambers, because it's not just politics. I mean, it's in crypto too. It's that tribal mentality. People get in echo chambers and they hear certain things, and everybody in that echo chamber is like clapping and, oh yeah. And so it must be true if everybody agrees with it. and so they fucking say it like it's just verifiable fact. It's just, I think it's just human psychology, but there is a sliver of society, and I like to think that I'm one of them, where I digest information from as many places as I can, and from that I try to formulate my opinion on a topic. And if I'm presented with new evidence, I'm willing to admit, hey, I was fucking wrong, with this new evidence, then this is my new opinion on it. It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah, but you got to learn how to do that. Like, that's the thing. Like, people don't just know how to build an opinion on a topic based on evidence.
Well,
Like,
you have to
learn that.
You have to put your ego aside, and and just understand that you don't know everything. No matter how smart you are, you don't know everything. There's going to be something that you don't know. I don't care how smart you are. And,
yeah, for sure.
And I mean, like I always say it. Just because somebody has a college degree or went to college does not mean they're intelligent. I know plenty of dumb motherfuckers that came out of college, and a lot of them wear military ranks. So it's a degree does not make somebody intelligent.
Nope.
It means that you can read a book, digest the information, and you at least got a passing grade. You can show up to class. That's all that fucking means.
Yeah, man. And what was your degree in too? Because many of these degrees are like, okay, you got a degree, but it's in like, queer West Asian gender studies. Like, what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah. No, it's interesting.
I got mine hanging up on the wall right here.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have gotten my degree if it wasn't
not in queer gender studies, though.
Yeah. Mine's a straight gender studies. No, I doubt they have that one. I guess that would just be anthropology.
No, that would be a study of Nazism, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh right. Yeah.
Being straight white racist, right? Or just being a straight white person in general is racist now, I guess.
I guess nowadays it is. I don't know, man. But I think that what that State of the Union told us tonight was that era is dying. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Like, bro, like you've got the communists on one side, they don't even show up. And then you've got Trump on the other side trying to fix all their bullshit. And he's not doing enough. He's not doing enough.
He's fixing everything that they fucking broke.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, he's only got 3 more years. Only 3 more years. He's got to do more. He's got to do it faster. Like, I heard he doesn't sleep. Keep doing that. Like,
we'll see what happens next. And we'll see what happens at midterms too.
That's going to be scary, man, because will we have the SAVE Act by midterms? I don't think so.
We shall see. All right. Well, Jeff, closing thoughts.
No, I thought it was a good speech, much like last year's. Last year when he first came in, I thought it was a really good speech honoring families and people who were either impacted by certain events, the drugs, the illegals, and even soldiers, that have done incredible things, just really honoring people and events that are important. And so, seeing that and not really holding back on certain things, calling out people, straight to their face. No, where's Pelosi at? Just
yeah. And he like specifically calls her out, and then he starts talking about the freaking not being able to freaking trade stocks for freaking that was fucking beautiful.
But yeah, overall pretty good. Not surprised that it didn't say anything about crypto, but yeah, it is what it is. Markets are just kind of holding. They're up 65 right now in Bitcoin.
What's your thoughts, David? Closing thoughts.
Oh man, 10 out of 10. It was a great speech. It was a lot of fun to watch. He hit on all the important points. He went over the top a little bit when he wanted to, and that's great because that's Trump. He gave out a lot of medals, and the communists didn't stand and clap for anything. So I think that the entire night was on point, and the next 3 years are going to be great. So I thought it was 10 out of 10.
Nice. Well, the Democrats were unhappy, so to me that means that he's doing good things. So
Exactly.
well, I hate to say it like that, but pretty much everything the Democrats do is anti-American, anti-American people, because they're taking our tax dollars and spending it on basically destroying the country. Freaking not securing the borders. They want to give free health care instead of fixing the freaking cost of health care, like Trump was talking about. They want unsecure borders with fentanyl, drugs, and terrorists flooding across. They want to freaking, give all the benefits to, people that don't contribute, either illegals that don't work or, American citizens that refuse to work, for multiple generations, through welfare and stuff. There needs to be a safety net, a social safety net, but there needs to be limits on it. It can't just be multi-generational where people just sit around and pop out kids and create more fucking welfare babies. It's you can't just constantly give stuff out. And they're fighting against tariffs. It's like tariffs don't just rate, a lot of people like to say like, oh, the manufacturers are just going to pass that on to the customer. They could, yes, but it also incentivizes companies to onshore the jobs and the manufacturing that used to be in the US and not overseas, because there isn't any fucking tariffs if it's made in the US. This is Trump's way of bringing manufacturing and jobs back to the US, because if you want to compete, you're going to have to do that.
Yeah, I think that the tariffs, man, like people were always saying, "Oh, it's going to cause inflation," or "Oh, prices are going to go up," or "Oh, it's going to get passed on to the consumer." None of those things have happened.
Well, and what do you think happens when they print money and freaking giving all these reparations and all this other free money away that everybody wants to give?
Oh my God, dude! Did you see this shit in San Francisco? What
No.
the fuck? It was like they voted to give $5 million reparations per black person.
Yeah.
Bro, guess what? I'm from Africa. I don't know what the fuck. I'm from Africa, bro. $5 million.
Well, Elon Musk is technically South African, so
my God.
Actually, all right, I'm gonna end on this. I have this funny story. There's this female warrant officer that I served with, and she is white. Her heritage is German, of course, but she was born and raised in South Africa. And so she put in for a scholarship. She's insanely smart. She speaks fluently, like 8 different languages. I mean, just off the charts smart. And so she put in for college, for a college scholarship. And she put that she's South African. And so, of course, they were just like, immigrants, South African. They were like fucking, chomping at the bit to, fucking have her come to their school with her test scores, her SATs and everything. And so she shows up and they are furious because she's blonde hair, blue eyes, white as a ghost. And they're like, "Oh, you lied on your application. You're not black." She's like, "I was born and raised in South Africa. I said I'm South African. I didn't say I was black. I said I was South African." And
dude,
so
that exposes just how racist the people fucking at the schools are. Yeah, that's amazing.
So, anyway, we'll end with that. But hey, I appreciate you all sticking with us. Again, Crispy, DeFi Don, Nick Dunn. Who else stuck around the whole time? Hoopty, I know you took off. Crispy, freaking
Jacob.
We saw Jacob in here. We got the whole crew. Freaking I saw Deadwood in here for a minute, and Jay, Ellie was here at the beginning. The whole crew, we appreciate you. It's all of you that show up that make this worth it. If you guys aren't here freaking chatting with us and laughing with us, it's just 3 idiots laughing at each other. So we appreciate you showing up. Until next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Peace out.